Are you sure you're good? Because we're now live, so that means you said you say you're now good.
We're good.
We're good.
Good evening, folks. Welcome back. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying the freezing. It's freezing up here, by the way. Absolutely Baltic up here, but you know, you're not in for a weather report, aren't you? So I can tell you about the weather if you want. Today started off scraping the car and then the sun came out.
Oh, when the sun comes out, get your bikinis out.
I mean, you know, it's that scenario where you have to go early, whereas if you left it another couple of hours, you wouldn't need to scrape the car because the sun doesn't work you.
Yep, perfect. You know, I'll be like, does it?
The one day that you don't need to go is the one day where there's no ice on the car.
Yeah.
You know, but you don't need to go anywhere. You know. Anyway, tonight we've got Sarah, we've got Laura over there, and we've got the lovely Rosie from the Ghoul Gang. I got Mum and Dad say, "Hey, Roo." Is that your nickname, Roo?
Yeah, that's my nickname, Roo.
I didn't know that. I need to remember that.
Learning every day's a learning day.
Sarah learned something tonight, so that's kind of like Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
Is that really Winnie the Pooh, Roo?
Yeah, like kangaroo. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh. And you've got like, is it Piglet? Roo? No, that's Piglet. So yeah, kangaroo is one's Roo, isn't there? But yeah, it's my nickname. It's always been my nickname. Unless I'm naughty, then it's Rosie, and then obviously all my middle names come out. But
That's what happened when you were younger, when you always knew you were in trouble when your parents used your first name.
Yeah, it was normally like the broomstick on the roof of your bedroom floor, like to stop you dancing around, and then it'll be in the shout of the name at the top of the stairs.
Aye. I don't know what Laura was flashing about there.
That's Mum, one of her many names.
Hey Laura, who's that? I don't have a clue. Oh, I thought they used to dread your mum saying Scott, and there would be a pause, and she'd pronunciate the T, Scott, and you think, oh, come down here. You know, you were like that, like, what's coming? Come down here. You know.
Oh, brilliant. It's always in the pronunciation. As soon as they got that, like there's a certain word out there, isn't there, with like a C and it ends in a T. And as soon as you say the C and the T right at the end, that's it. That word means everything to everybody.
And then they would ask the daftest question. They wouldn't tell you what you'd done. They would say, "Are you wanting a slap?"
And then you make the biggest mistake and go, "Yeah."
How are you supposed to? No, with a punch in the face be out of the question. You know what I mean?
Because when you're a teenager, you've got big balls and you own the world.
So, well, if you're going to slap me, can you tell me when you slap me? Or first, please, so as I know. You know. But that's what I love about our lives. The paranormal comes in eventually, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
At some point. Like, you know, it's I done a show with Kimber a few weeks ago, and I think we hit on the paranormal for about 5 minutes, and that was it. That was I were on the 2 hours, and 5 minutes was with the rest was all about biscuits and crisps and suitcase packing tips and travel advice and stuff like that.
That's the art of life.
The show just went in the toilet, basically. No.
Could you imagine?
In a good way. I'm still like flush, but you know, I just went in the toilet. It was a good laugh. Anyway, Rosie, tell us about the Ghoul Gang.
Oh, the Ghoul Gang.
Sorry, I'll get to it eventually. It's all right. Just bear with.
So obviously, the Ghoul Gang started last year. It is a member of 7 of us. And we've all got different abilities that bring to the group. So when we do an investigation, I bring something, Jamie brings something, my mum brings something, everybody else brings something to the table, and it literally just works. And the investigations that we've been doing recently have been phenomenal. We've got some footage, we've got some photos, but we have got some big locations coming up this year, and I can't say anything just yet. There are some secrets.
I hate when people say that.
I know. I hate myself for it.
But I can't tell you. So, well, why mention in the first place? Just keep quiet. You know everybody's going to be dying to. It's the same as when somebody says, "I've got a secret, but I'm not going to tell you."
I'm the same. I absolutely curse myself every day, going. I think I try and talk myself in like, what is the secret? Like, oh yeah, I know the secret. So yeah, I do kind of hate myself for it, but we do have some big locations lined up.
I'm not going to ask you where because you say it's a secret, so you're not tell us anyway. You know.
One you know. We spoke.
Oh, aye, that place that were up. At the roundabout just down through the lights where the old school used to be, beside the forest. Aye, when they're building the new Tesco's. Aye, I know that. That'll have people wondering, won't it?
They put the Greggs in that Tesco's as well, because I'm only going if they do Greggs.
They'll be on the Tesco website now checking where's a new Tesco getting built. If there's
But yeah, no, one is the location. One of them is one that you already know. So you're in a part of this Ghoul Gang secret.
So we're in a secret. I love knowing secrets because it makes you all smug. You walk about saying, "I know something you don't know." You know.
It just turns out to be a cemetery. Bless them. But every location that we've been to, hi Craig, has paid off. Whether that's been paranormal with what's there. Last weekend was a very, very different style of investigation, but it actually turned out to me giving somebody a reading for my very first time to a random stranger who we met there. We don't know who he is. I don't actually really know what he looks like because we're all in the dark, and because the location that we're at it's an English heritage site, but it's open all 24 hours. It's like a little tiny church, literally parking on the side of the road. You're allowed in any time, and it's an amazing place to stargaze. So last weekend, all the stars were out shining. So was the stargazers, and so were the paranormal investigators. And we met two guys there who was meant to go to the pub, and they decided to one decided to bring the skeptic along to a haunted church, and it paid off for him. The skeptic got a reading, and it was all to do with his nan. I don't know the man, and I nailed every single point for him, got the message across, and he left very happy, and we've not seen him since. That's it. And that was my very first time, so it was a very different style of investigating, then turning into a reading. So yeah, like I say, we all bring different things to the Ghoul Gang.
Right, so that's good. So did the skeptic go away with an entirely different viewpoint?
Oh yes, yeah. So we left them to it, because when we said about when they turned up, we said, "Oh, what brings you guys here?" And they said, "Oh, well, he brought me to a haunted church." And it was just kind of like, ha ha, yeah, kind of thing, quite macho man. And we just said, have fun, guys. And we met up with them probably about half an hour later. I went live last Saturday for about 10-15 minutes. We went out to the church, and they were inside. They said that they'd been hearing stones throwing, and each one of them thought it was the other one. And we could see one stood outside of the church because it's ruins, but you can still see it's got the walls there as well, and you've got the wall, you can go inside what the tower would have been, where the clock would have been on the tower.
Mm-hmm.
One stood inside there, so he's in the pitch black, and so it kind of goes in. We then get the cat balls out, the famous flashing balls, K2 meter as well, and we put the K2 down. No one stood near it. We've explained to them what it does. We've explained about your phones that can set these off, so we can put them in flight mode. Put the cat balls in the gravel, so they're tight down with no wind. There was no wind, but they were tight down, so they can't really be manipulated by anything else really, and unless an animal. But there was no animals around. And we were asking different questions, and we were talking to Thomas, who we had there previously before with the team, and who's going off. They were good with that. then the cat ball went off, and the skeptic's like, oh my God, what has set that fashion ball off? And we've explained and showed them what they need to do. Next minute, it was about 10 minutes later, they were like, yeah, we're going to go sit in the car. We'll be back later. And we're thinking they're actually not going to come back. But they had balls of steel. They came back in. They wanted some more. And obviously then the reading happened. And he left amazed and was so grateful for obviously the reading. And yeah, I think that's Mum just saying there. It also has 11 conjoining ley lines underneath the church, so there's a lot of energy within these ruins. And it was a plague pit at once as well, a Neolithic burial ground. So the skeptic, I think I remember rightly, his name was Darren, was just amazed by it, and we just said, we're with the Ghoul Gang. Hope to see you some other time. So fingers crossed we do.
You might find me, Barry, John, and last night we were talking about that when a skeptic kind of becomes, I believe it's not you want to shove the paranormal down their throat, but if you just say to them kind of, this is what we do, and if you want to get a try, then fine. And I think it's better for them to learn for their own experience that they can, because everybody can say, "Oh, you faked that."
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, this is why we didn't. Well, none of us thought about filming. Obviously, me doing the reading last week because it was my first ever time. We know I'm going down that route. I'm opening up a lot more, but no one thought about recording it. And actually, we're quite happy because one, it was personal for him. Two, again, you're going to get people out there that will say that's fake, which is fine. I'm happy with people that say those sort of things. That's no problem, because they're entitled to their own beliefs. But what we do and the work we kind of do, because it is work, is tiring. It is very tiring. Fun of it.
Our two ladies seem to have buggered off, but we'll carry on with them. It's fine. Not another back again. But no, it is tiring, and I forgot what I was going to say. I hate that. When that happens, it just goes woof. It's not very often I'm stuck for words, as people, as people know. It's been having a couple of people say to me, I don't believe in the paranormal, what a crap. And I've said to them, well, I'm not trying to make you believe it, but have you ever had something that's happened to you in your life that you just could not explain? Whether it was a noise or you seen something or something moved, and you sat there and thought, I said, well, who's to say that's no paranormal?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it is, but if you can't explain it, then who's to say? I think a lot more people believe in the paranormal than they'll actually admit. They'll say they don't believe in it because I think the paranormal, it's starting to get a stigma back.
Yeah, it's had this new craze in the last few years. I think it started just before COVID. It started, and obviously then COVID, I think a lot more people found what was on their doorsteps, and then found it's spiritual, it's like they're haunted. So I think people have found a lot more places to go on their doorstep, and people are just more susceptible to it, I think, now. And
do you think all these kind of paranormal shows, ghost shows that are out there, have got something to do with it, or do you think they're more damaging to the paranormal?
It's hard, obviously, because for me, I think the one program that I absolutely would love to also try the experiment. I don't know if you guys watched it. It's on Netflix, 28 Days Haunted, and I truly believe that is very real. I've spoken to a couple of people that's been on that show before. Jeremy Leonard, absolutely fantastic guy, and I think the experiment that they've done, 28 days locked in one sitting, is where you're going to catch paranormal. Like going out for a few hours, you're going to catch little things, or a completely dead night, as I say it. Excuse the pun. Some locations they're there for a week, but I think some do fantasize it just to get that little bit more fame. Obviously, Nick Groff is absolutely my iron wonder. So I love everything he does, and obviously him and Tessa are the paranormal power couple, I call them. So their line of work is real, but there is some other shows out there. I won't name them because that's just my beliefs. That do things just to get a little bit of fame and a little bit more money in their pocket than there was before. Because I think there is so much money into this. Just by faking a video, you're going to get so many followers. You're going to obviously it's all about the followers now these days, and obviously you get money for getting followers. I think you get like stars and stuff, and I think
it's turning into a lot of paranormal's turning into a sort of money making machine. You know, they do it for entertainment. Exactly, but a lot of groups and teams, don't get me right, everybody likes to see their numbers going up. I've said this before, because I like to see the numbers going up because it lets us know that we're doing something.
People are watching,
You know, it's not that we're better than anybody else. You know, look at us, we've got, 1,200 followers, you've only got 7, so, get it, Rooney. That's a polite way of saying it, by the way. It's not a case of that. It's, and when you do, they're obsessed with views as well.
Yeah.
And again, if we do a live and we get X amount of 100 views, we'll say, well, that was quite good.
That's brilliant.
But that's it. You move on.
That's it. Yeah, that's the thing. You then move on. And then the next night is the next night, or the next weekend's the next weekend. That's it. It's hard, obviously, because like the other day I actually looked at our TikTok and I went, oh my God, we've actually got 300 and something odd followers. Where from? That's a big number in the little world in the big world that we're in, but the little team that we are on the South Coast.
I wouldn't tell you how many we've got because it would just be bragging.
I know. I looked at yours the other day. I went, I want paranormal in history.
I'm surprised. It's me that does them. I tell you, I was just going. Laura just closed the mouth. If you just see, Laura's got this habit. You'll start to say something, and you'll maybe get mid-sentence, and then she'll boom jump in. Say, are you going to let me put the other half the sentence together?
Right.
She just let you finish, And so I've done the majority of them. Is that better?
Yeah.
You can't speak, Laura. It's a talking show. You can't speak. You don't. Sarah can't speak because you get a lot of dental work done, which is fine. But you've got no excuse, though. Try to conjure an excuse up.
TikTok.
You can see the clogs going.
Laura's done some. That better.
She's been doing a lot for last few weeks.
No, let's be fair.
Why don't you explain it then, my dear?
No, I'm happy sticking to my writing. Thanks, Gabba.
No, your mouth went like that as soon as that they missed.
I can tell my instinct to cut off any second.
But I was surprised when you see the looked at it. I thought, "Jeez, it means that folk are enjoying the videos that we put together."
Yeah, absolutely. As a team, you've all done absolutely fantastic, and behind the scenes as well. Just your general chit chat, like through day to day, Monday to Friday, before the weekend starts or the paranormal live starts. All of you just have lovely chat about you all, and I can't wait to meet you all.
Oh.
At the secret location near Tesco's at the roundabout.
Absolutely, round the roundabout at Tesco's.
To get in, you need to go 3 times round the roundabout the wrong way.
There is a secret code to get in, and that's round the roundabout, and then something else in the middle of the roundabout.
Exactly, and the code is, I'm not telling you. I forgot, Rosie. Sorry, totally forgot. I should have started. I'm like 19 minutes late with this. Sorry. Give me the accent.
Oh, okay.
I just remembered that, but ping!
Okay, oh my god. Oh my god, this is gonna fail so bad. Or I'm drinking me Coke. It's Coke Zero. And water.
For anybody that's not seen Rosie before, since we've known Rosie and every time she's been on the show, she's practicing Scottish. And so we always, I think it's kind of traditional now. We always get to say something in Scottish. And I think, give the girl her due, she is improving as the months go on. Coming with 2029, she might pass off for coming.
Like I said, I'm 32 next month. So how many seasons of Grey's Anatomy? 19. So yeah, 50.
Mention Grey's Anatomy. Do you know how much your macho image goes out the window?
That way over the window with the legs.
I just disappears as quick as a guy walking in the sand. You ever seen him abroad?
Yes.
And I love it. Seeing you lie on the beach, and the sand's burning, it's like being on the sun, and you get these big guys that get up off the sun lounger and they're about 50, 60 feet for the water, and they start to walk slow down the, and the closer they get, the faster they walk. And by the time they get about 10 feet for the water, they're running, and they're like that into the water. I love it. You're not a big new, are you? If you're ever in that situation, a wee travel tip, wear your flip flops down to the water and then go in. But it's the way they go, they bother to be, and then they realise this is hot. But they're too far away, they're kind of caught in no man's land.
Yep, because their arms have gone across on, because they're all
don't sit there. I don't know, maybe I'll challenge somebody to lift them up or something, I don't know. They're all that, but they're in no man's land, because you can see them mentally thinking, right, I'm in between the lounger and the water, so what looks better, they just keep heading for the lounger or for sanctuary, Talking crap again. What are we talking about?
Grey's Anatomy.
Yes, Grey's Anatomy.
Fantastic programme, but very educational.
I'm going to go and have a look. Like you said, obviously you tried to perform this on Sarah, so I've got to go and have a look what you tried to do. So.
It didn't quite work.
That simple incision did not work at all.
That's all I'm going to say. My comments have disappeared there. They keep disappearing. So we get back to paranormal, shall we?
Yes. Let's get back to paranormal.
I will talk about evidence and what have you. What gets me is these teams, they go every single weekend and straight away they get evidence, much like a lot of the TV. But there's one TV programme in particular I watch, and as soon as they walk in a building, it's, did you hear that? Did you hear that? I mean, they've done the location that we're going to be going to.
Right, yep.
And as soon as they walked in, they got the whole, fireworks, everything.
Yeah.
And
see, for me, it's hard because, so with the Ghoul Gang, some locations we're going to have guests. So I always say to those guests that will be coming, I would rather you have a dead night than you think that we're trying to put things on for you. And obviously with the Ghoul Gang, as a team, we all just generally know if one did hear that, I'm quite happy to say, no, I didn't. And the other person won't take offense to that. And that, because the thing is, it's not just because you heard it, but it's when it's like you said, it starts straight away. And to me, you've got to build that energy. You've got to build that trust with those spirits that are there. They've got to trust you to kind of talk with you. And again, unless you're going to some, like Romanian haunted woods or, I don't know, like the pyramids of Giza, that's where I think stuff goes down big time. But the little locations or the big locations that we're going to, it gives it time. It's got to be time. And I think that's why some locations, if you can do a sleepover, do it, because it's during the night, after you've been there for about 6 hours, is when it starts peeping.
Well, I've got an idea. The girls only keen on it, but I've got an idea to do a sleepover at a location that we've been doing quite a bit, but the girls aren't keen on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm quite happy to take a tent along and put it up, but I'm getting a bit of a negative attitude back to the team about it.
I'm coming
Well,
with
with the tent. As long as I've got like some thermals on, or if it's in the middle of the summer, I'm happy. Pop a tent out somewhere. And
I
off you
said that. I'll
Oh,
do
she's
it during the summer. Scott's talking about doing it in February.
Oh, yeah, February.
No, yes.
Yeah, February. If I've got thermals and if I've got a heating source to do a hot water bottle, like a gas stove, then yeah, I'll do it.
We've got gas stove, we've got thermals,
Yeah.
we get sleeping bags, but I don't really use a sleeping bag. My whole idea behind it is to see. I mean, this place that we go to, it's kind of, we've been doing it for I don't know, 2 years now. Hi Maggie, hi Jem's all the way from Australia. She's on Saturday with her pal Kate.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. But this place that we go, it tends to be the later it gets, the more the activity. It doesn't ramp up. You know, we don't get loads and loads of headstones flying about and stuff like that. You know, Peter Pan jumping from tree to tree. You know, it's a private joke, by the way, folks. Rosie knows. I don't know what I'm talking about. But the responses you get seem to ramp up. So I thought, well, what would happen if we done it for a full night?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, Margaret, not saying where it is at all. No clues given. Same as the Tesco. Put me off what I was saying. Aye, to see, because we usually leave there, what time, ladies, about 12ish, 1 o'clock, something like that. We usually call it a day, you know. But I'd always wanted to see, hey Nigel, buddy, what happens during the night?
Yeah. What happens past 12? What happens when it gets to witching hour? Like all those, you know, like that's the thing. It always ramps up. Like in certain programs or certain people's videos, it will always ramp up and then it's ended. That's it. It's just like, well, what happened after? Because it's always after 12 or yeah.
Aye, the leave you dangling, but I mean, I know Spirit has no. Well, this is one question that we've always asked, and I think Barry and I were talking about it last night. Does Spirit have concept of time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think with time, absolutely. And then to me, I then think about what happens about leap years and the time, like the time zone changes and stuff. Obviously, like when the clocks go forward and the clocks go back, I think that will then you'll have like I think it surges in energy. So around those times, you're going to have a little bit more activity than usual. And then like it's like what's going on? We're like that's me during the day anyway, all day every day. But I think the surge would be around those times, but then during the year it will just calm down because they fall back into their time periods or back into their places to do their natural normal things again, their daily living.
One question I've asked a couple of people is, you know, so you go for an investigation, say on a Saturday night, you know, and you do it and you wrap up and you go home and you get back the following Saturday, you know. Now, if you're lucky enough to maybe get the same spirits as you did the week before, for instance, to us it's been 7 days since we were, you know, at the location. So, you know, we recognise you, that's 7 days. But the spirits that were there, if they remember you, is it 7 days to them, or is it a case of you walked out the door and then came back again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. Ooh. So like last week, like I said, I mentioned earlier that we had been to the church that we go to, and it was a couple of good weeks between last week's visit. And again, we then picked up the same little boy that we were talking to the previous time. But that was the first time I'd been to the church a few more times than the team. And that's the first time I picked it up with the whole team. And then again, last week, would it be like that, just revolving door turning around again? Oh, they're here again.
Or would it be...
Good question.
they were here 14 days ago.
Yeah.
Hey, Ricky, buddy. Do you know what I mean? See, these wee silly questions that pop into my head.
Yes.
Well, that's way right. Humans are programmed to live by time.
Yeah.
Really, we're taught when to sleep, when to wake, when to eat, when to go to work, when to relax, etc.
Yeah.
So we're aware of time. We have to be aware of it.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to spirit, I think they're aware of time, but not in the sense that we know it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aye.
Yes. Yeah.
I think we've confused Rosie.
Yeah, this is a brain teaser. This should be on
Well,
the
They're aware of, like, they must be aware of, like, Christmas, birthdays, difficult situations in our life. So
Yeah.
therefore, they must be aware of time in some essence, but not in the essence that we see time, because
Yeah.
we see it as we have to sleep between 1 and 7.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Somebody's dead.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, no, definitely. Because it's like a theory that I believe. Obviously, there's many theories out there, but this is just literally just one little one. I believe that I always explain it to a lot of people. If you're going to catch Aunt Meg doing her washing on a Wednesday, she did it at a certain time of that day. Will you catch her the same time, the same Wednesday doing the same thing? Will you catch either a glimpse of her, or will you catch a smell of washing? And I believe that is something that will stick for her, whether she's there or not actually doing like residual energy. So it's just it's like a replaying record.
See, I was going to say that if you go at the same time every week and you get the smell or whatever, does that count as a residual haunting?
Yeah.
Question, right? If the spirit are used to being at a certain location, say once a month on a Saturday at 7 o'clock, and you don't appear, do they feel upset, neglected, lonely?
Oh, yeah, that would be sad, wouldn't it? Like, because normally you can pretty much the same every time, every week, but sometimes there's always delay of something. So it's
You can see Rosie's wee mind. Hell, I've got another mind tease, whatever you like. Got another question for you, right? When you go to like say an abandoned stately home, right, as an example, and you walk in and you pick up on spirits that were attached to the home, whether they built it, lived in it, worked in it, whatever, right? Are you visiting them or are they visiting us?
Now, this is one thing I've always said to people. Am I a ghost to them or are they a ghost to me? And I literally believe it's two worlds and you're crossing paths at the exact same time that you're kind of both thinking, okay, that door's just moved. That's because I've walked in, but then that door's just moved because someone else has walked in. And they're probably the same. I genuinely believe that there's definitely two worlds. Someone's after somebody. There's two.
I love how we all turned and looked out our windows.
I've got the curtains, I can't see that. I don't know why. I think it's a natural reaction, but you get on.
And you're like,
and you look about your room, don't you? You're like that. If you're expecting a police car and an ambulance to drive into your living room, but you always,
you always think them after you. What have I done?
You always feel guilty. It's the same as when you come back on holiday and you walk through customs, even though you've got nothing to declare, not a thing.
Act natural.
You try act natural, but you keep going like that and looking right at them, don't you? You can't help look. Are they looking at me? And you always think they're looking at you.
Yeah. You always look suspicious, no matter what you do.
You always try to read a book going through or something, don't you?
Yeah.
Never works.
Coming back to what Rosie was saying about whether we're a spirit to them or their spirit to us, right? Think about that EVP that I caught at that location that we go to regularly, and the EVP come up as they were real.
Aye, that's right. I just want to come to James' comment first. We've got this app here that alerts us to why the sirens are near your house. We stalkers. James a stalker. There it is. Lovely lad, Rick's a stalker. Laura recorded it on her phone. They came up. What was it? They are real.
Aye, they are real.
So it made us start to wonder. Well, are they? Rosie has a very good point. Are they? We've been there countless times, and we've always had responses and what have you, and wee bits and pieces. You know, it's like a puzzle. You know yourself, Rosie. You can get wee bit and they sort of gradually build and build. And so we started thinking, well, of all the times we've been here, you know, as the spirits here thought we were spirits as well.
Yes.
And then, you know, finally realised, oh, wait a minute, they're no spirits, they're real.
They're real people, yeah. It's very much like last week with the haunted church that we was at. I turned around and knew Jamie was stood there. I turned back around and Jamie wasn't stood there, but there was somebody else stood there, and it wasn't Jamie. Definitely wasn't somebody else. It was a spirit. But then when we moved further on, I then thought it was the spirit, but now it's actually Jamie. So it was very. I was so confused by who was actually stood next to us because it was a spirit and it was a human being, like an actual human being. And yeah, I just believe the two worlds will always sit in parallel with each other, and you're going to cross. And yeah,
every now and again you'll cross in. I mean, we've been in investigations, and obviously I'm no psychic medium, none of that. I'm just, you know, old handsome me, obviously. I'm just ignoring Laura's yawn there. But there's a couple of times we've been out and I felt somebody standing kind of right there.
Yeah.
You know that feeling you get if somebody's standing behind you and you go like that and somebody did, but it was the same feeling that they were standing right beside me and just watching.
Yeah.
You know, and
and then they come right in your face as well.
Aye, you know.
It's like, who are you? Like, and I'm thinking, get the hell out of my face! Like, it's my personal space.
Why are you here? What do you want?
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
And it's do you think that the more you go to a location, the more trust you build, and there'll come a point where spirit will accept you?
Yeah, I think in certain locations, so it's definitely with Tesco's roundabout one, there you do need to build a trust with that with what's there. What is apparently there, I don't think is. I've been a good few times now, but the more I go, the more uneasy I feel, which is weird because you're meant to be uneasy the first time you go. And there's no now in anticipation for me going because I've been. I know what it is. I know what it feels like. I know what it smells like. Weird. But every time you go, there's more and more that it can give, because the more you're going, I believe spirits will remember you. I think they remember your voice, your smell, kind of like a pet does. Like, I've got a snail, so they go by smell, and so they'll know who I am. I like to think so anyway. But yeah, I think spirits are very, very similar, not to a snail, but very similar. They'll remember who you are and they'll build trust with you 100%.
You see, we've found that you cannot build trust with a certain spirit at the mausoleum.
No, definitely not. I know mum's that's mum. No, if you believe the trust that person's given at the mausoleum, don't believe it. It's a trap. It's something that is. It's hard. It's hard to explain. Like, because obviously you guys need to come down south and I can take you to this place. It's literally tiny. It's a mausoleum. That's it. And a few graves on the floor. We're always very respectful in there.
Is that the one you've done when Brian was over?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I know the one you mean.
It's a love story, but So her name's Emmeline there, Emmeline Shaw Story. And so it's the Greyfriars land that the mausoleum's built on. So the mausoleum was built for her husband, Lawrence Shaw Story. And this is all public, so people can read all of this. But she didn't like... so I resemble Gypsy, so Romany Gypsy. That's in my blood. That's like 3 generations down, I think. 3 or 4 generations down. And so it was my great something Nan, who was Romany Gypsy, and Emmeline Shaw Story do not like gypsies on her land. Now that can be from Romany Gypsies to travellers, and anyone of that sort she will attack. Now, I've not been physically attacked, but I've been threatened with the attack there when my partner had the Estes method, or the Gansfield, and I was on my own with the spirit box in my hand, and he's blindfolded with the headphones on alive. And I felt something coming up behind me, like when you were explaining, Scott, that someone's here. And I turned around, nothing's there. Obviously, I can't see nothing, but I can feel it. And then my partner, he then shouted out, hit over the head, or hit something, and I felt like something's coming to hit me. And he was shouting out what I was feeling. But you could hear the static noise in his ears. So he can't hear what I'm actually talking about, because I would actually talk quite quiet. But yeah, she's a firecracker at the mausoleum.
I saw that. Talk to you soon. In fact, talk to you Saturday, Jim.
Yep.
We've never encountered a feeling that we're no wanted. The girls encountered the kind of uneasy feeling. I'll let them tell you instead of me gabbing at Caldwell. I'll maybe let one of them tell you.
Well, I think I'm going to have to. We're talking about the actual house or park area.
The night you're going to be Jesus scared at you were all sitting out in the car park, not the car park, the courtyard.
Oh, no, I don't like that. Yeah, so there was a group of obviously went to a certain place to do an investigation. And it was a brilliant idea that we decided to slap into groups, as you do. Unfortunately, it just so happened that the group that, me and Sarah Phillips were left in was an all-female group. And that was not the best idea at the time. But we never thought of that. So you're standing, you're calling out, you're doing whatever you're doing there. And the place was empty. There's nobody there, it's just, you, there's people in the building. And all of a sudden, we hear this male deep voice. Am I allowed to speak again? But great.
It's a one-off. Go on.
Right. And all of a sudden, we hear this deep male voice coming from the basement area, and I think it was "fuck you" or "fuck off," really loud, like so loud it was right next to you. Every single female in that place bolted out. This is how brave we are. Bolt out into the car, start beeping the horns for everybody else to come and rescue us. After the team come, search the whole area, including the basement. Not a soul there.
Jeez.
Oh
my God. I wouldn't have had balls of steel on that one. I would have been bolting it out like, yeah. I wouldn't have even been beeping for Scott. I would have just turned the car and gone.
Because obviously our phones are on flight mode, so they couldn't phone us. We weren't far away. We were walking around, we called it a circle. There's a big estate in the middle of a road. So we were to walk around that, and we thought we heard a car horn. We thought somebody out in the road there was beep, 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 beep. That's up there, that's up at the house. So we all ran up, what's going on? And so we went in and checked the basement, and there wasn't anybody there. And then so I says to her, right, take 10 minutes, get a cup of coffee and that, whatever, compose yourself. While we were standing outside, I think was it footsteps or something? We heard plain as day, just like saying the ground floor level. So me, and I was Reese, ran back in and checked it down the basement. He went one way, I went the other way. There wasn't a soul there. And this estate is in the middle of nowhere.
Jeez.
It's the nearest town's about 4 or 5 miles away.
Right. So in the middle of fudge nowhere.
There's nothing, you know. So I think with that moment, but we've been lucky so far. We've never been. Sarah and I felt a sort of unhappy spirit when we went to Canongate. That was way back when we first started out. It wasn't evil or negative or demonic, you know.
Just makes you feel uneasy.
It was just a case of I don't want you here tonight.
Yeah.
You know, but having another wander about and what have you, but that's been it. The rest have all been.
I was going to say, there's been a couple of locations that I've been to. So there's a location called the Salisbury Rifles Museum, which ironically is in Salisbury, down the south. And so it's led to believe that a spirit there would scratch people. And I think my naivety was a little bit like, yeah, all right, then. Like, kind of just as you do, because it's like, really? Like, because everyone says that spirits can't hurt you. And I'm thinking, well, if he's going to scratch, then, you know, it's going to hurt. And I was sat on the chair, and you can see on the footage, this was years ago, and it wasn't me that was filming it. So I'm not sure if I think I might have the footage somewhere on my old laptop. I'll have to have a look. But you can see I've got my hands upside down on the chair, on the arm, because I'm sat in the corner on my own. It's on the arms of the chair like this. And next minute they see me kind of like go like that on the video. And I then say, something's just touched my arm, but I can feel like a cat scratch. So as soon as the cat scratches you, it gets that like white bump, like you get like that redness with the white bumpy with it. It was like that, and it was just one short little scratch across the top, like across here. And I was like, yeah, okay. Probably I might have been way too naive to that. I was kind of new to being more as an investigator, crossing over from as a guest to a paranormal investigator and learning a lot more about it. But yeah, that really did happen. And will I go back? Absolutely. Will I antagonize it? No.
I mean, you did go back. You know, see this place. I'm never going back there again. Not for the love of money or whatever. Yeah. But you need to get back.
Yeah. You've got to find out more. Like, why are you doing that? There's got to be a reason why. How was he able to, or he or she, able to scratch you? Because I think the demon word, I think that's used way too often. I think, like, Jamie explains this so well. So I'm actually going to use some of his words here. Jamie's one of our team members. That it's used probably, once in thousands, one could possibly be there. Or train as a normal spirit, and it just gets pissed off one day. But what scratched me, no, that's nowhere near doing that. That's just one serious angry spirit who's just got so much energy and probably drained our energy because you felt tired after, just to do this is me, this is what I can do. You didn't believe me, so I'm going to show you exactly what I can do. And I left. That was it. I didn't go back in that room, and it was a library. It was a library room, so it was meant to be the safe haven of the building, but
not anymore. But I mean, the old demonic thing or negative spirit. There is, I dare say there's some kind of negative spirits out there somewhere. Whether I don't know, but I always say it's no demonic. It's we've all known a grumpy old man in our life. A grumpy neighbour. Not people.
That way.
She was pointing the wrong way. She was pointing that way. Let me tell you that.
I was pointing to my husband.
And in the physical, they just want a people person.
Yeah, everyone has.
Grumpy, my dear. I'm far from. You'll never meet a happier in your life.
Yeah. I have bad days. I'm always a happy, smiley-go-lucky day. There's some days where it's just get out of my way. I don't want to talk. I'll come out of it within the hour. I'm out of it. But you if you're peed off, they were once human. They're just showing you that they're still living. They're still feeling their emotions, and whether we're there peeing them off or whether it's something else peeing them off.
just leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. And hey, Charles, buddy. and I've said to many a person, you can have thousands of pounds worth of gear, equipment, whatever you like to call it, but if a spirit, spirit is what I talk to you, you're going to get nothing.
Yeah.
You know, you could have one sitting right next to you, just saying, I'm here, but I'm giving you a diddly squat.
I'm not a performing monkey. We're not in a circus today. Like, because you're just, some things that happen, we're like, oh my God, do it again. Or first thing we do is we scream. And I'm thinking, why have we screamed for? We asked for it. Come on, let's go snowballs and, let's ask for it again. And then it never happens again. Because I think we've just kind of scared it off of, well.
It's when something happens. There's a couple of TV shows famous for this.
Yes.
When they hear a noise, they scream and they're in the car.
Yeah.
And you think, where are you going?
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just the women that scream, it's the guys on the. I remember one program in particular, but it's and they're running and they're in the car. That's like going fishing and getting a bite and throwing your rod in the. Oh, I'm not touching that. Throwing your rod in the river. I'm not touching that. It's like that. You know what I mean?
I like that expression. I love that. I'm going to use that the next time.
Well, you're sitting beside the river and we've got a bite. No chance. I'm going home. Then you come here for that.
It's definitely true. It is. And, as soon as things, I think when your flashing balls happen, when the flashing balls go off, it's my favorite piece of a little equipment. Sounds like doesn't it? When they go off, I'm just thinking, yay, let's do it again. I don't actually scream anymore. I think it's more like, obviously, if something happens now, like what happened with Laura and Sarah with the voice and the sternness of obviously telling you to do one, basically. Yeah, that I would probably sit there, scream and faint. I don't think I would know what to do if that actually happened. Touch wood, that doesn't happen.
But that's the kind of thing I want to happen.
Yeah.
We've done a few investigations, and I felt things beside me. We picked up EVPs, K2, catbot, all sorts of things. I found I call the whispering lady as well. I want something really good. Get out, go away. I'm always waiting for that. Get out, because I'm used to being told that in the physical. Get out, but so you want to have with the spirits, it's embarrassing. It's Charles, my man. To see a grown man run out a door screaming, especially when they're doing this with their hands. I don't know. They're trying to, cool themselves down, but they're running out and then they're fumbling for the car keys, and then you find out he's the cameraman. So where you go,
We had a touchy-feely spirit in the basement at Antwerp. Yes. I think that could be. I think that might be Mum on that one. We've been to Antwerp. Unless someone else has been to Antwerp, I can't see the photo. We had a touchy-feely one in the Antwerp, if that's the one in the chair. And we've had also ones like Wimmering Manor, which is, again, a location down south. We've had the biggest and butchest men, the rugby men, go into the basement. Yeah. Something's touched my leg and I've got shorts on. It's actually touched my leg. I'm like, yeah, you asked for it.
That's it. You're not there for a picnic or a church revival.
Yes.
Laura, I've told her story many a time. Laura got her backside squeezed at I'll tell Laura, tell you.
This is the third time this week. This is no longer a secret, and this should have been a secret. Right, anyway, we were investigating this cat, and Sarah had been sitting on the chair beforehand, so she'd got up, and I thought, she's getting up to stretch her leg, and I'm for sitting down, because I've been standing for hours, and I'm frozen. So I sat down. Honestly, it's been a minute I sat down. It was like a hand literally came from underneath, pinched my bottom. And I've never moved so quick in my entire life.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, that's personal. That's a personal space.
I know.
It was funny. I sat and see after it for about 5 hours and get sawed off, so disappointed. They were away home. I was still sitting in the morning waiting. Come on, touch me. If he was away home,
Begging.
Jake, if we're coming in, can I help you, son? No, I'm fine. I'm just waiting. Something happening here.
Just dead there like that, like just waiting.
Yeah, man. So why you don't get any trousers on? Never mind. That's personal.
I wouldn't put that by me.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, no, but the bum. I think I remember rightly. Even like with mum, what's mum saying about the Antwerp? There's personal spaces that I think obviously there's some spirits. Obviously, again, they were once human. They're obviously missing a little bit of action these days. And obviously they see a beautiful woman and off they go.
Let's face it, in the physical, I work beside some guys with that, they're a right ladies man. What do you want to call them? And I have known one or two guys that squeeze a woman's bum or whatever, like, what, got you there, Velma? Got you there, Mary? Woo, So, you take your personality and everything with you.
Yeah.
So who's saying, once they're over the other side, they still might want to squeeze a Mary's bum. Who knows? Laura's bum in this case. And it happens.
Yeah.
It's quite funny.
Yeah. There's one location that I haven't been there for years. Oh, well, I say years, it's been 2 years now. Manor Farm. There used to be, well, I say used to be, again, I haven't been there. The last time I was there, he wasn't really around, but there used to be a spirit there who would not be so polite where he touches. And I was even in one particular night, you can see the girl's bra strap being pulled up and pulled down. And the boyfriend, we kept saying to her, do you want to move? And she's like, no, I'm okay. And I'm just thinking we need to get her off this bed because she's laid down on a bed, and it's called the 2-bedroom, and her boyfriend kicked off, and I spoke to him and we calmed him down, and we did say, obviously, I can't remember her name, and I just said to her, come off the bed. We're gonna take this away from you. And she's like, no, I'm quite happy. And I'm thinking, yeah, but I don't want the next bit to happen because I know what can happen. So we did stop. But yeah, I calmed the boyfriend down, but it was just the fact that you saw her bra strap being picked up and pulled to one side. And now us ladies, if you're laying down, your bra strap don't go up in the air and go down. It can either just stay there or can just slide to one side a little bit. But no, it got picked up and pulled to one side. To me, it looked like he was undressing her. And that is exactly what the spirit is known for doing, man or female. It's not picky. And thank God I have not encountered him for a long time. So, yeah, it doesn't harm you. I think you just got to have the frame of mind. If that happen, we do warn the guests when we take them there. There is a certain bed. That's the bed. We do say to them very little. We kind of ask them to kind of verbally consent. Are you okay being touched, basically, and your bra being pulled down? But yeah, we're very careful what they say first, so they don't influence themselves.
I think if I went to an event or investigate and somebody says to me, well, they wouldn't ask me about my bride, but if I was a woman, I mean,
Yeah.
Are you okay with being touched and your bra being pulled down? I'd be like that, investigation or a swingers, but ask me that.
Paid for a ghost hunt, not swing night.
Swing night till Thursday,
It's just Friday fun night.
We must advertise this event, though, but I'm all for that.
That's what goes on past 12.
You see, I want to do. This is why I want to do the overnight. No, so I can get my bra strap tucked in. I don't wear them. I want to make that clear. I don't wear them. Just to see if the activity is constant during the night, or does it, die down a bit. Pardon the pun. Die down a wee bit. you know, and see what happens, because we've never stayed beyond maybe midnight, 1 a.m. sort of time. And I've always wanted to. We tried it at Caldwell.
Yeah.
We were going to do it, but we lasted to about 2 o'clock or something. And then it started, 3 o'clock. And it started bucketing down with rain.
Right.
And there's no roof. There's no roof. There's no shelter.
Yeah.
So we had to call it a night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just a waste of time. And we didn't have brawlies at that time either, did we, girls?
No.
So we don't kind of wait. So, I mean, getting back to the tech side, how tech savvy are you? Do you rely on a lot of tech, or do you think, I'm in the frame of mind that spirit is basic? No, I don't mean that's kind of stupid, as in, you don't need a lot of tech to contact.
I've built so much equipment over the years. So my expensive stuff is obviously my laptop that goes with my oh my god, what's it called? The laser, the stick man figure thing. I can't remember what it's called. Yes, that's it. Yep, I have it all connected up with my laptop. So I built my own. It's so much cheaper. So yeah, I've got things like that, and down to the £3 cat balls, the little flashing balls, to my mind. I believe your powerful is your mind, and your physical body is the most powerful tool that can be used. Over the years, obviously collecting all of it now, I only take out the flashing balls. We're now taking out, I've got a lovely lantern that we've been taking out with real candles. We're not using them in the hired location, it's the outdoor locations that we're going to. Obviously very careful and very respectful that we burn all that, but it's in like a glass. So the flames far down, and we're then asking the spirits, could you go and blow the candle out like it's your birthday? Or they're used to kind of candle and light. If we're not talking to a spirit that passed away 10 years ago, we're thinking that we're talking to a spirit years and years ago. So they're used to the candlelight, and by gum, it was working. We were asking the spirit to blow the candle out, and it was so close, and then light back up again. And our mum was there, or the whole team was there, and every time on command that we were asking for the flame to go out, it was literally on the tiniest one little puff of breath, it would go out, but it would light back up again, and it was just fantastic. So yeah, equipment. I've not been using the big equipment anymore much. I think when we go to our location, which is the 18th of February, which is the Haunted Antique Centre, we've advertised that so everyone knows where we're going. It's a team event, so we're going to be having cameras set up. I think that is something that put somewhere on its own, try and capture something, set some trigger objects up. But yeah, other than that, it's myself and my flashing balls and my flame.
That's the right way to do it. I mean, no disrespect to people who use all the tech. It's their thing. We don't. I mean, the girls are not brainy enough to understand it. I'm thick. I don't understand it all, basically, and you'll notice they don't disagree in that point, which is fine, I love a K2 meter and that, but I mean, I know the K2 meter can be manipulated in so many ways.
Yes.
And people have said this to me before, you can't, it's not 100%. So my answer is, and I want your view on this, Rosie, that if you've got a K2 sitting dormant for maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then you ask a specific that word question, and it goes to yellow, or it lights up, and then you wait a wee while and say, right, just to confirm, can you do that again? And it does it, and then it sits dormant for whatever time. That's hard to debunk.
Absolutely, 100%. That is, again, I will never say it's paranormal. It's unexplainable. The unexplainable obviously does sit in that paranormal bracket. I can't tell you what's happened, but it's happened. The K2's gone off we had the K2 going off on Saturday, and it was just going off on command. And then when you're not asking questions, it's not doing it. And then I would lean forward because I've got my phone in my pocket in aeroplane mode. So I lean forward just in case, and it doesn't go off. So I'm thinking, well, if it was me, it would go off continuously, or it would give it a surge. No, I stepped back, nothing. I moved to one side. That's where I then stayed for the rest of the night. Mum moved, and so no one is near it. So yeah, if it's going off to a colour, specifically if it's a colour that you're asking for, and then, like you said, saying it's dormant and it's a doorway, yeah, you can't explain that at all. That is, it's in that bracket, 100%.
You're not saying it's you're not saying it's a spirit. You just saying what? I don't know.
What can cause it? Yeah, absolutely. I like this idea. A stretch out string with the little balls tied on, with the little bells tied on. I like that.
Have you tried that?
No.
Last year? I don't know if Laura's shaking her head.
It's really noisy.
Really noisy.
You string it up or take it down. It's so noisy. It's deafening.
Oh, bless you.
Tried it twice. We tried it at Kirkyard and we tried it in the vaults. Never worked. But we're going to keep trying it.
Yeah, but that's just showed just because it didn't work, it won't work somewhere else. And if it didn't work, then that meant that there was no breeze down there.
Yeah.
So nothing can naturally catch the bells swinging to make them set them off. So I like that idea. I use that one, Charles. Thank you.
Same as the idea of ping pong balls as well.
Yes, ping pong balls. Yes, I've used ping pong balls many times because the Gansfield as well is meant to be used with ping pong balls on your eyes instead of like a blindfold on. And you're meant to use the ping pong balls half on your eyes and then the red light, and then because it's meant to be the lights and your natural vision and all of that. That's meant to help with the Gansfield. But yeah, natural just ping pong balls on the floor. Long as I was always use them indoors, so the wind isn't around. Put them in a splay in somewhere that you know they could move, see how they act, and then move them to where you know they're not going to move. Because you then, yeah, it's just finding that way, like doorways. If there's a breeze underneath the door, I wouldn't put it there. It's going to be in the opposite side of the door or window or.
I was with Spig Saturday night there. Riggy was in the chat and I tried it, but what I did with the ball was, because obviously the ball's white, and so I was leaving it and I thought, right, we're going to go to another part of the building. I thought, how are we going to know if that ball moves? So I drew a black dot on it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
On the top of the ball and just left it. Now, everybody was accounted for. So I knew if that ball, there's no drafts, nothing. It was a sealed building, corridor basically. But the ball never moved. But I kept going back just to check on it. And it never ever moved.
And that's good. You kept going back and checking on it, and then your team trusted you that as at the end, no, it hasn't moved. So that just kind of accounts yourself that you're genuine, because you then could have gone to the team, team, it's moved because I've accidentally kicked it or something. And so, yeah, by going in and periodically checking it shows your team that you're a genuine person and not going to fake something. So
no,
it's not moved.
There's too much faking in it. That's the thing I was going to say earlier on about taking somebody out for their first investigation. Yeah. I would prefer that nothing happened.
Absolutely. I'm 100% with you on that one. 100%. And it's hard because some of the locations we go to, we pay for them, so I'd normally take them on a free ghost hunt. Some locations are paid because you have to hire the venue. We also share the cost between our team members, so we're also paying as well. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to go and pay and fake stuff just to please somebody else. Like I'd rather sit at home in the warm, and not waste money. So absolutely, and obviously the free locations, yeah, they're free. You've got natural noises out and about, but what's going to be sound? Not the heavy boots in front of you are doing, because no one's doing it. Why is there heavy boots walking towards me? So, yeah.
Up here, up in Scotland, there's plenty of castles and Kirkyards and what have you. And I know a lot of people say why go to a graveyard? Because why would, a spirit hang about with their bodies buried? But
Yeah.
I think there's been too many teams went and picked up genuine evidence,
Yeah.
to discount, graveyards. There is some graveyards that we went to, Kirkyards, Greyfriars Kirk,
Yes.
where we've had diddly squat. This is before we knew about the investigation ban. And it's one of the most, it's meant to be the most haunted kirkyard in the world.
It came up on me and my partner was looking at loads of locations the other day and how many places in Scotland I now want to go to. And Greyfriars was like, that's where Scott and his team go. That's where they go. I want to go. Just because you guys have been. So.
I don't know how many times you've been there. I don't know, I've lost count. The Covenanters prison, there is something in the Covenanters prison. It's no George Mackenzie.
Right.
Right, it's no the Mackenzie Poltergeist. That was made up for a book, right?
Yeah.
And the Black Mausoleum is not the Mackenzie tomb. Black Mausoleum is inside the Covenanters prison.
Right.
Just what you were saying about scratches and that, this is why they locked the prison. The council locked it back in 2007, I think it was, because there was like 3,000 documented reports of attacks inside the prison area.
Wow.
And people were sending in pictures of cuts, scratches, bruises, and what have you. And they weren't doing it for money, because a lot of these people who sent the pictures in were just tourists on holiday. They sent the picture in and then they went away home. They didn't chase it up or nothing.
Yeah.
I think 1 month alone there was 11 ambulances called to the prison. And so the council said, you know what? Enough's enough.
Yeah.
But we're quite fortunate with Jamie that we can get into the prison. So we have been into the prison, and there is an atmosphere in it.
Yeah.
There is an atmosphere in Greyfriars when you walk in, but it's a peaceful one.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's a peaceful one there. But as soon as you walk into the prison, it's a totally different atmosphere. I'm not saying it's evil, but
No.
you sense it.
Yeah, because naturally I have this. The word you naturally get this hype up about the place because so many stories, so many ambulances. So you're going in with that frame mind, but then it's just completely different. But the genuine atmosphere. It's like the hairs on your arms are standing. It's that electric feeling. That's the buzz that I love. I think that's the buzz. It's just I love that.
You get a good buzz, but we think it's a male spirit, because we've done an investigation in it, and the spirit did not want to talk to me.
Right.
Just wanted to talk to a woman.
Yeah. Was it a male prison? Was it mixed or with females?
It was mostly male. It was used to hold the Covenanters.
Wow.
When they lost the Battle of Bonnybrig in 1629, 1200, were marched from Bothwell to Edinburgh. It was a total of about 56 miles. And the thing was, the tombs weren't there at that time.
Right.
A lot of people think they weren't. It was just a massive open field. So they were just shoved in there, and to await their fate. Basically, hundreds of them died for exposure, starvation, disease, etc. And the tombs came later on.
Right.
They get built up, but it's held the energy, whoever it is that's there. I think it's one of the old guards.
Right. Yeah.
Because the attacks always, they blame the Black Mausoleum. You see, it always happens in the Black Mausoleum, but the Black Mausoleum is a burial plot for the Dundas family.
Right.
Who had no connection to Mackenzie and were a well-respected and quite wealthy family.
So what reason would they have to be? Yep, no, absolutely.
And so my theory is that it's one of the guards who still sees that as because the prisoners were beaten randomly every day. The guards would just pick somebody and beat the crap out of them.
Jeez.
They were known to be quite brutal with them. And so I think it's one of the guys that still sees that as, this is my territory.
Yeah.
I get to be here.
And obviously him wanting to talk to a woman, it feels his power because like he could like manipulate that woman, he can like just control that woman in a way that he may not be able to do with you. One, you're a living human male, a lot stronger than what he is, so he's kind of changed it. The spirit in my mind, I think spirit's probably changed its ways and gone, I know I'm not here, but I'm still going to mark my territory, but I'm not going to go for the men who can actually out kind of smart me in a way. I'm trying to think of this place, like I want to go now. I really want to feel that buzz, what you get. And yeah, no, definitely I can understand probably how he's probably thinking in a way. I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
Well, where you get when you and your man get up here, then we will get you through there. It's a fantastic location. You know, I mean, even though the Kirkyard itself isn't active, you know, regardless of what people say, sorry, but we've got it for Jamie Christopher himself that he's been there 15 years and he's there 5-6 days a week, all sorts of hours, and he says I've never experienced one single thing here at all.
Really? Wow.
You know? But then you get the teams that go in and say it's George Mackenzie Poltergeist. We're picked up on him. He's here.
Oh.
You know, there's one guy just before I'm watching the time because I know you're up early, Rose. There's one guy. I need to tell a story. I've told it many times, but I still find it funny 2 years down the line. It's related to all the other equipment. There's one guy from Edinburgh. He's a clown. I'll say it, he's a clown.
Right.
But every time he goes out, he's got an SAS commando. You think he's going to be the rack or something? You know, got all the gear he's got on. And there was one night he done a live for Greyfriars, and he went into in the Kirkyard. There's a lot of open. They're not really tombs. Coffins are underneath the ground, but you can go in. And he went in there, and it took him about 2 hours to set up all his gear. And he get diddly squat. He get so funny. And then that said, the spirits are probably still in there watching him, think you might get a move on, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I'm scheduled at the pub in a minute.
I know I passed over, but that's just ripping it a bit. Come on. You know.
No, Scott, that was the night he gets scratched off camera, remember?
Oh.
Aye. Oh, gee, I mean, talk about faking it.
Yeah.
His sleeves rolled up, right? And he kept emphasising, oh, not been scratched yet, not been scratched. You know, you don't do that. You know, I've not been scratched yet. I mean, and then all of a sudden, you know, it went off camera and all I heard was, oh, you bugger. I remember the exact words, oh, you bugger. And he came back and he had 3 scratches on his arms. I've been scratched.
Yeah.
And you could tell he'd done it himself because the wee white flakes that leave your fingernail kind of, you know. Yeah. And but even the words, oh, you bugger, you don't say that in Scotland.
No.
You know.
When it happened to me, you can see me go, like when and it is on footage, so I'm gonna have to try and look for my laptop. It's somewhere. You can see me again. I've got my arms like this, and I'm like, you see me go, and you can see the puzzled look on my face within seconds. I've gone, something's touched my arm, something's happened, and next minute I felt that burning, so I knew what had happened. But yeah, if there's certain words you don't use in Scotland, like you bugger, that's what I think I would say.
That's maybe where you, but if you're in a supposed haunted Kirkyard in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden you get you're not going to say, oh, you bugger.
No, I would have gone a few more swear words down that road.
Especially if you've advertised for about an hour prior that your sleeves are rolled up and you've never been scratched.
I think that's the thing. It's sometimes I think some things are a psychological thing. The word, my arms are free. There's no scratches yet, so the seeds have been planted into people's minds. Yeah. So it's more a believable story because the seeds in the watcher's head. So naturally they're going to go, oh, and that's it. Boom. That video's gone wild, or the non-video's got the all buggers gone wild kind of thing. So I think, I think people can play on a few things that Laura's off. I think a few words can be planted into people's minds, definitely, and that it's more than believable of what's happened.
It's the comments, oh, you're amazing. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Seriously, you know, turn that up. People are eating this stuff up there. And it's across the board.
Yeah.
This stuff, you know, I mean, just before we wind up, no doubt you've heard of the individual who claims to have got famous celebs and that contact them straight after their passing.
Right.
Have you heard the this clown? You get the Queen. You probably remember the Queen last year went to see him.
Oh, right, yeah.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
God rest her Elizabeth. She went out to see him last week, and Lisa Marie, which I was raging. I was at because I'm a massive Elvis fan. Aye, that's the one. I'm a massive, and Elvis has been a big part of my life for about 40 years. So when Lisa Marie died, obviously, you know, wasn't it great? Well, when anybody dies, it's no great. You know, it's, oh yes, he's dead. You know, but it had a big impact on Elvis fans as well. Do you know what I mean?
If it's your idol, that is going to make a big impact. Even if you never met him, that is someone you idolised, and that's definitely going to have a big impact on you.
And then you get this monkey who's saying, aye, she's here. But Elvis was meant to have jumped into the conversation as well. He was meant to have, you know, and then obviously Queen Elizabeth last year, God rest her, Prince Philip, or the list of Charles Manson, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Patrick Swayze, you know, Michael Jackson, he was there. He went to, because all these major stars, when they, you know, pass, that's the first place they go. Going to Minnesota, that's where I lives, by the way. Going to Minnesota. You know, I need to go and see him. And it's just the amount of people that are putting it in this chat. Oh, you're amazing. Oh, wow. It sounds just like her or him. And you think, do you know what I mean? But it's just, they're living off of people's greed, and it's so desperate.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, anyone can do an accent of, you know, okay, I'll probably be able to do an accent of Elvis. But anything, if you put your mind to it, and if you then plant that word and seed to a viewer's brain that somebody's here from that celebrity past life, and then a word comes out, you're then going to go, oh my God, yeah, I heard them, because you're listening out for that person's voice. And as soon as you hear it, you go, oh yeah, because they were on such and such, or they sung such and such, you're going to hear that voice. And that's why I think a lot of viewers that are doing lives, the viewers can be fooled by the words and obviously name dropping to get famous for themselves. Well, naturally, viewers unfortunately would listen to it. And I think becoming a paranormal investigator myself, it has really changed my view of a lot of things that I used to watch. And I'm thinking now, if I watch it now, I'm thinking, I can't watch this. I cannot.
It's painful, isn't it? It's painful.
Get back in there. I cannot watch it any longer. Turn it off. Block.
It's the same as hey, Jen got Jen says power of suggestion, and our Jennifer for our American team says as well, if you send somebody a recording, I like to send, if we think we've picked up stuff on EVPs, and I like to send it to people, don't tell them what it is, just listen to this, send it back. And as Jennifer says, you know, don't tell them what it is, because then that puts a thought into their head. And we done it last week with that. Look, I cannot watch anything, I cannot afford a new TV.
Oh, bless.
We don't have a license, but don't tell the BBC.
I think if the BBC radio is free, then you can have a free TV license.
It's ridiculous how they pay for it, but I think if you're wanting your EVPs now, you need to send it to people and say, look, just listen.
Yes.
Because we done an experiment last year. Craig and I took 2 toys down to this Loud and Kirk, and we left them because I believe there's kids' spirits there. We left a chain and a doll, a wee angel doll kind of thing. And we went back a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to find out, maybe I will throw a boot.
Yeah.
Right.
Size 4.
I thought our TV was broke. Sorry, that was on the blink, you know. So we picked up some words and I sent it to 3 different people, Kimber being one of them, and they came back. Because I wanted to see if we would get the words back, and we get the words back: train, toy, and doll. Because I did ask, can you tell me what the gifts were that we left? And so these 3 people came back and says, this is what we heard. And it matched with what we thought, and it matched up with what we left.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying, as I said in the post the other day, just to make his amazing team a sawdog. It's not a competition.
No.
You know.
There's so much out there. There's so much to investigate. There's so many teams out there. Everyone just do what they want to do. Okay, if you want to be famous, that's up to you. Just don't tarnish the rest of us that are just trying to make it.
It's so damaging. And with this, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say the individual's name, but if it doesn't get his name, he goes in the huff.
Yeah.
Nothing. We'll put it that way. And it's when he sits there and says, I've got Queen Elizabeth. I've actually commented on that one. And I said, if you lived in the UK, you would be hunted down.
Yeah.
That, you know, she was your queen. All right, I'm not a big fan of the royal family, I will admit, but at the end of the day, she wasn't just a queen. She was a person. She was a lady. She was somebody's mum, grandmother, etc. You know, so take that and forget she was the queen. She was still a person, and you've got this monkey, the Minnesota monkey. I've got her here just now. You know, and then with Michael Jackson, you know, Ed Elvis, and then with Lisa Marie, I thought you just stepped. Because Jennifer had mailed, Lisa Marie passed away. It was the Thursday night here.
Right.
And Jennifer mailed and says, look, the rumour mill's kicking up here that he's going to do one on Lisa Marie. And I checked it on the Friday. I checked his channel just out of curiosity, and sure enough,
straight away,
I was up Lisa Marie, Spirit Box, Lisa Marie Presley. And I thought, you inconsiderate, excuse the French, we swear on this channel, so I apologise beforehand, you inconsiderate prick, basically. You know what I mean? It's just disgusting. But anyway, we'll wind it, because I know you're up early, Rosie, and we have you back in about 2 weeks anyway, do we not?
I think more secrets might come out. Hopefully some more secrets can come out by then.
Well,
we had an email this week, and we're just waiting for the go.
I'll tell you when we've captured you next. Actually, it's not that far away. It's not that far away. It is the 10th of February.
Yeah, very soon.
Not a kick in the bahookie. But maybe some secrets have come out. We will not discuss the location at Tesco's at the roundabout where the old school used to be at the forest when they pulled down that old fire station, remember?
Yeah, absolutely. Tesco's round it 3 times. Absolutely. There's a
I would need around it the opposite way.
Yes, reversing.
No, reversing, driving it the wrong way. So you go, did when you're in Spain. So I think that'd be a laugh. So you go on.
Yep.
So we'll hold on easy a couple of seconds, Rosie. Where can everybody find you if I'm looking for you? And I'm not talking about the police or
so we're very small. We are on Facebook. We are called the Ghoul Gang. So I believe Scott's got our picture up, so you'll see a lovely church with some lovely drawn-on bats by myself.
Right, I didn't actually advertise your artwork. I just asked where we can find you. It's a lovely picture, but it's a lovely.
If Mike Koval watches, I know sometimes he does. If Mike Koval, he should recognise that church, and our secret location, Scott. You will get to meet that church. It'll all make sense soon. But yeah, so the Ghoul Gang's on Facebook. We are also on TikTok. So the Ghoul Gang 7. I've literally just learned, and a 31-year-old learning TikTok. My God, it's a stressful thing, but it's fun because I found that you get editing, like you can do like flashing stuff on the videos. You can do like a stop and a start, and it's amazing. So some of our videos are on there, which also have little secrets of our locations with pictures of the locations as well. So you can have a look on there. We're also on Instagram again, the Ghoul Gang. So Yeah, we don't have a website because we are literally a small group just loving our hobby.
That's it. We've got a TikTok, but we don't have any fancy stop and start and blah blah. Anything like that. We just
You might see a little emoji doing this. So that is me editing, and that's not me saying my video's haunted.
I'll just stick to the plain videos on your TikTok, putting the pic and sticking a tune on it. There you go. Job done. Instead of all your fancy, I was going to say 22nd. That's just the 20th century, 21st. I don't know, 2023 stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, we'll wind it up there, Rosie. A million thanks for coming on, and to the ladies on the panel, and to everyone in chat. We're back on Saturday night with, I think it's 8:30. I'll need to check with Jen because obviously they're in Australia and their times are all wrong because we've got the right time. They're wrong.
Bless them.
They're upside down, so their times are upside down. But I'll check with Jen, but I'm sure it's 8:30. With Jen and Kate from Hectic Paranormal, two totally insane ladies that like running about with kangaroos and barbecues. And that rhymes. So we're out here, folks, just now. You're welcome, Kathy and Charles. Cheers. And we'll see you on Saturday, hopefully. So chin up, be safe, and go ghost hunting. Bye. Bye.
Bye.